Hi, I'm Hanna.
And I'm Matt Hanna.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannas.
And I'm sleepy because yesterday was Hannah's birthday.
Oh my gosh.
And we stayed up too late.
Yeah.
And drank too much.
We had many bevies, and I went to bed at 2:33.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
And we also have a fun special surprise. We got a new cat as of Monday this week.
Yes.
And
so 6 days ago.
Whenever people are listening, it'll be
like 2
10
weeks.
days.
Yeah.
And he is very cute. His name is Aster, and he's another black cat. So now we have 2 all black cats because we are spooky people.
Yes. So
and he is laying in his bed right now being very cute.
Yeah, so if you hear us giggling or something, that is because a small black kitten is like looping around our legs. Yep. We're playing with our headphone wires.
And our recording room also happens to be his room.
Yeah.
For his isolation period, whatever we would call it.
We're in the process of getting him socialized and slowly, gradually introducing him to our other pets, Norton and Lily. So, yeah, it's a fun time in the Hanna household.
So we're a little bit of a mess. And I also feel like we haven't recorded in forever.
We haven't, because we also
pre-recorded a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
We also moved. And we traveled, so I don't know if we've recorded an episode in like
3
a month.
weeks, it feels like. Well, but we're back. And we're here to talk about Titane, which you've heard me many times talk about the movie Raw, which we haven't covered and I'm mad about. Titane is the second feature from Julia
Ducournau.
Ducournau, really? Okay.
Yes.
And we like both of her films that we've seen so far, so excited to talk about this one.
Yeah.
Tell me, Hannah, you got the docket, so.
Yeah, so it's a 2021 film written and directed by Julia Ducournau.
And this came out right after, during COVID, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like it basically went straight to streaming for us, since it was like a...
I mean, it is a French horror film.
Yeah,
so
it's not in theaters here.
I have no idea if it was or not. I would guess not. But it actually won the Palme d'Or at Cannes.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah. And Ducournau became the second ever female director to win the Palme d'Or.
That's crazy. And
she's the first female filmmaker to win solo without a co-director.
Fantastic. Great for her.
I know.
I mean, not fantastic that it took this long, but we've been over this before of why that happens.
Yeah. We're not surprised to hear this as much as it's shitty.
Women just didn't have the same agency in the industry to be directors until more recently, mostly because of other reasons that women didn't have agency throughout history. Yeah. So it's a big deal. It sucks that it took this long, but let's be happy it's happening.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's really cool for a movie this fucking weird to win the Palme d'Or.
It is a weird one.
Like, she had to have been in just complete shock.
Yeah.
But that makes it like 40 times cooler.
This is very much a movie she made for her, I feel like.
She makes all her movies for her. Yeah.
I would say Raw feels a little more crowd-pleasing. I mean, it is a body horror, but in terms of...
I don't think she makes any effort to be crowd-pleasing whatsoever.
Well, Raw is awesome. We were just talking about Raw last night with our friend Rob, so...
Yeah.
And how good it is.
We're going to have a TikTok that mentions it, and it's very funny. But not only was it record-breaking because of that, it also was record-breaking because the film was distributed by Neon in the U.S., Neon has won the Palme d'Or 6 years in a row.
Yeah, Neon is really good at picking what they distribute. I mean, Anora was that was the most recent. Mm-hmm. They won the Palme d'Or, and then also won Best Picture.
So it was Just an Accident is a Neon film that won the Palme d'Or this year. The year prior was Anora. The year prior to that was the Neon film Anatomy of a Fall. Prior to that was Triangle of Sadness, then Titane, then Parasite, which were all Neon films.
Neon picked Parasite. Holy hell, they
got a picker.
Again, they are just distributors, but it's still like movies get made and someone has to decide to be like, hey, we're going to put our money on the line to get this in theaters. And Neon must be making bank because almost all of these ended up being like word of mouth films that did well in the long run.
They've been doing really great too with their advertising and such. Think about Long Legs.
I'll also say what I like about them is they don't have any specific genre they try to hold to. Like, people make fun of Mr. A24 for all their movies kind of feeling similar, and they're like kind of surrealist light or horror or whatever. And Neon really feels like they have everything. Because I'm pretty sure like the movie Upgrade that Lee Wynell directed was Neon. And that movie's pretty out there, like sci-fi action movie. And then
Okay, but also A24 has movies like Moonlight.
That's
like,
a good point.
Shut the fuck up, y'all.
I'm just saying.
It's more that they
yes.
kind of let their creators do what they gotta do. And I feel like Neon's getting that rep now as well.
Well,
which
again,
is great.
but Neon only buys it after it's been made. But
A24 does both, to my awareness.
They produce now. Got it. But okay, continue.
It was also selected as the French entry for Best International Feature Film at the Oscars that year.
Oh, very cool.
But it didn't make the shortlist, unfortunately. But it's
too out there.
That's entirely unsurprising for
horror film. You know that those people don't even watch all of them anyway. And
and it's kind of a bananas.
Oscar viewers would turn off while in the middle of.
Yeah.
I mean, once she starts having sex with the car, I think then...
and that's pretty immediate.
That's pretty immediate. I think they might turn it off. Meanwhile, us, we're like,
fuck that car. So, I haven't even mentioned, like, the cast or anything yet. This movie just has, like, really, really interesting background. It's starring Agathe Rousselle in her feature film debut as Alexia, as well as Vincent Lindon. But Roselle's casting is so interesting. She was a model, and she was recruited via Instagram because of her androgynous look, because that is what Ducournau was looking for. And they rehearsed a ton of monologues from Network or Twin Peaks, is what she said in an interview.
That's funny.
We worked on that just because my character doesn't speak at all. And so we work on a range of emotions like that. And then I had, of course, a lot of training. So I had to lift a lot of weights and also do dancing training because I'm nothing close to a dancer. So we worked on that for 2 months.
She was fantastic at dancing.
It was really intense, but really worth it because now I can twerk.
Her dancing's unbelievable. So I'm kind of shocked that, like throughout, she's a really good dancer.
Yeah.
It's awkward a lot of the times,
but yeah, she like wasn't an actress prior, so that's part of why they did so much
very
training.
Impressive.
Yeah, and she's been in film since then, so
good for her.
You go, girl.
And they also brought our girl back from Raw to play a small part.
Yeah, which we love.
Love her. They gave her the same name from Raw to be very confusing. But okay, tell me more.
Last fun fact is that the inspiration for this movie came from a dream, or a series of dreams that Ducournau had. She said that she began having graphic nightmares about giving birth to pieces of a car. Just like one piece of metal at a time.
Ew.
I think the collision between this pure active life and this material that is dead and cold on the floor was something that disturbed me and was also attractive to me.
There you go.
She said in an interview. She fascinates me. Her way of thinking is fascinating.
Even just thinking about Raw, which I'll keep talking about, just the way that that's structured in the story it tells is so insane and beautiful and good. And I feel very similar to this. So both are these like really out there stories with what I would say is actually very simplistic narratives. Or how would I put it? A simplistic story told through a complex narrative, something like that. Like where the overall feeling and message you're supposed to get is very normal and approachable and relatable, but the vehicle in which they get us there is
wild.
Batshit. Yeah. That's the best way to put it. Sorry to ramble, but had to find my sentence along the way.
Fair enough. Sometimes you just gotta word vomit and you'll get there.
Then I usually get something good out of it. So
very Michael Scott of you.
Remember when Andrew from Revisionist Almanac was really impressed with my ability to do this with no notes.
Well, I also think that's like absolutely a bananas.
That I do this with no notes?
Yeah.
It's all up crazy. Here. I don't need notes. It's all up top. Okay. Tell me more.
Well, we asked our followers what their favorite foreign language horror film is, because this is a French film. So I wanted to share some of the answers that we got. We got a lot of answers.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll close my eyes so I won't look at it.
Kay Scanlon on Instagram said Train to Busan.
Great pick. We already covered it. Go listen to it.
Gory Rory 3 said One Cut of the Dead.
I don't know that one.
Chops Cards said The Audition or Irreversible.
Ooh, you've seen The Audition, right?
I haven't.
Oh, I thought you have seen that. I haven't either.
Cinema's
You've
Charm.
seen something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That I think was kind of modeled after Audition. Yeah. Cinema's Charm said, I Saw the Devil. Paranormal in Pennsylvania said Frontier, also a French horror film. Okay. Our friend Steinmetz.Ethan said Climax.
Great pick, sir.
So
he always has the best answers. He said his favorite possession movie was Scooby-Doo.
Because they're half of them are recommendations from
us.
you.
Yeah, and that's why they're great answers.
Shut the fuck up. Rev Almanac said Let the Right One In.
Also good. That's Andrew.
Movie Friends Podcast said Cure.
Mm-hmm. And that's one that's on our list that we will be covering, probably with some people that we don't know yet, but we'll with some other podcasts because I've never seen it and I really want to.
We have a lot of friends who want us to cover that.
And I've seen Pulse, and I said I really like Pulse, so I need to see his other movie. Well, he's got plenty, but this one. Our
friend Brits by Hobnob, which is from 1001 by One podcast, said, sheesh, too many. But it's either A Tale of Two Sisters or Audition.
I guess I gotta see Audition. That one, it's always, I've thought more of it, it's more of like the torture porn category, but I guess maybe not. Everett
Mansur on Blue Sky said, The Wailing.
I have to comment on all these evil film. Very good. A movie that makes you feel, that makes you feel the evil is in your living room. So, good pick.
Love a movie that makes you feel like shit.
Yep.
Jackie Jardine on Blue Sky said Ringu or Pulse.
Pulse, shout out. Hell yeah. Yes. Also, Ringu we'll probably cover at some point. That's another secret one.
We are 100% covering that. It's on our calendar.
Can I tell them what we're doing?
Nope.
Are you not going to tell them? Oh, no spoilers? Okay.
No spoilers yet.
Well, all you know is we'll be covering it. Nothing else.
And Movie Postmortem Podcast also said Let the Right One In.
I do like that movie.
We had so many separate answers, so... I couldn't even be like, these 7 people said this.
And I had to comment on all of them. So I'll tell you what I think. All right. Well, thank you everyone for writing in.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
So I think
there's some good picks.
Yeah. A lot of great picks. I think we can move into our 15-second summaries now.
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll pull my timer up. It is right here. You caught me off guard.
What did you think was going to happen?
All right. I thought we had something else first. Okay. Are you ready?
I got it.
Go.
Serial killer fucks car, gets pregnant with car baby, but also simultaneously is getting trouble for serial killing, so she disguises herself as a boy who went missing and then goes to that guy's father, and she's like, look, I'm your son, but really she's a pregnant lady.
Sorry, I'm yawning. All right, good answer. Oh, I am tired. All right, my turn.
All right.
My turn?
Go.
Okay, so this girl is a dancer and a serial killer, and she gets pregnant by a car. And then she becomes the son/daughter of a random firefighter man. And then firefighter man has a baby car granddaughter or grandson. A grand car.
Granddaughter.
Yeah.
They don't say it in the movie, but
it's a girl.
But Julia Ducournau has said it's a girl.
It's a girl. That makes sense. Okay, now time for the full plot description. So, a little girl named Alexia is involved in a car crash. She suffers a skull injury and has a titanium plate put in her head. When she gets out of the hospital, she shuns her parents and embraces their car passionately. Years later, Alexia, now an adult, works as a showgirl at a motor show. One night after a show, a male fan follows Alexia in a parking lot and declares his love to her and forcibly kisses her. She then kills him using her large metal hair stick. As she returns to the showroom to shower, Alexia finds the Cadillac she modeled with earlier has turned on by itself. She enters it naked and has sex with the Cadillac. It is revealed that Alexia is a serial killer who has murdered 3 other men and a woman in the past few months. She still lives with her parents, who seem unaware of her connection with the crimes. Alexia attends a house party where she starts to have sex with her coworker Justine. However, motor oil begins secreting from her. She takes a pregnancy test, which returns a positive result, and tries to perform an abortion, but fails. She comes out of the bathroom and murders Justine and 2 other men, but one woman manages to escape. Alexia returns home and tries to burn a bloody blanket, which sets the house on fire. She locks her parents in the bedroom, and then she leaves. Now wanted for murder, Alexia alters her appearance to pretend to be Adrian Legrand, a young boy who had disappeared 10 years before at age 7, by cutting her hair, wrapping her body, and breaking her own nose. She then goes to the police claiming that she is Adrian, where his father, Vincent, a fire captain, accepts Alexia as his missing son and refuses to do a DNA test. Vincent takes Alexia to the station where he lives and works, and introduces her to his men. The firefighters are puzzled by the mute, androgynous, and apparently traumatized Adrian, but they refrain from questioning the captain's behavior. Alexia becomes an apprentice apprentice at the station under Vincent's supervision. Alexia is increasingly disturbed by his possessiveness and considers escaping from the fire station. However, after Vincent experiences an arrhythmia after injecting a large dose of steroids, Alexia decides to stay with him. Vincent's long-estranged ex-wife comes to see her son and ends up discovering a now heavily pregnant Alexia with her body taped down. She nevertheless keeps the secret for herself, not wishing to interfere with her ex-husband's delusion, and begs Alexia to take care of him. Vincent eventually acknowledges his delusion, telling Alexia that whoever you are my son. When he inadvertently uncovers her breast, he is shocked but continues caring for her. At a party at the fire station, the firefighters urge Adrian to dance to the music. Alexia performs her showgirl choreography, confusing everyone. Vincent, disappointed, walks out of the crowd. After the party, Alexia has sex with a fire engine. Alexia's body gradually breaks down as the skin of her stomach tears to reveal new metal plates. When her pregnancy comes to term, Alexia reveals her name to Vincent, briefly attempting to seduce him and then begging for his help. Vincent helps Alexia give birth, the titanium side of her skull splitting open on her final push, killing her. The newborn's body appears with patches of titanium on its body. Vincent says repeatedly to the baby, "I'm here."
1973's The Exorcist. 1991's Silence of the Lambs, Black Swan in 2010, and Get Out in 2017. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes the Academy Awards actually do what horror lovers of the world wish they would do, and respect this genre enough to recognize it on the grandest stage. I'm Andrew Corns, host of the Revisionist Almanac, an interactive monthly podcast here to fix the mistakes of the past, and also work to do a better job representing all film genres, and not just the Oscars bait that exists. Every episode I dive into a past film year with a rotating group of guests to look at what won Oscars for Best Picture, Best Director, and the Acting Awards. Revise those winners based on what we think should have won, and then let the actual winners battle our choices in head-to-head online polls where you, the listener, get to have your voice heard and decide the outcome. So come check out the show on all podcast streaming platforms and find the show on every social media platform using the handle RevAlmanac. I can't wait to see you there.
Wow, that was such a good plot description by me.
Wow, that
Fantastic.
was beautiful. Okay.
Amazing. Okay, this movie's insane.
Any hides or screams from you?
You know what? Maybe when she's dressed up as, what's the boy's name that she's pretending to be? When she's him and she's doing the dance on top of the truck and all the people are watching, that gave me secondhand embarrassment so bad that I hid for sure.
Adrian.
Yeah. Great scene, but boy, oh boy, did that hurt to watch.
Yeah. I had a hide when she broke her own nose.
Oh, that whole thing when she beats herself up is crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, and then her nose the rest of the movie upsets me too.
Yeah, it's hard to look at.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Would you say this movie is scary?
It has pretty intense moments, I would say. Like when she's killing people and like also the uncomfortable situation she puts herself in, like when she tries to bite off a girl's nipple piercing.
Oh my God. That scene was so
because it's
hard.
Metal. Yeah.
To watch.
So like those are like scenes that I would consider intense and uncomfortable and tension filled. Sure. I mean, this is a horror movie, sort of. We'll call it that.
It is.
We'll call it that.
It's considered a body horror. That is the genre.
Yeah, it's more than that, though. But yes.
It's doing a lot of things.
It's doing a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I guess like pregnancy in general is its own body horror film.
Yeah.
That's scary in general. So when you were able to like pull that to the next level, this is like, it's already fucking crazy growing a human inside of you.
Yeah.
And now it's also a human car baby.
A human car baby.
And you are lactating oil.
Yeah.
Like,
horrifying. Literally horrifying.
And you're scratching your belly and metal has shown up because your womb is now a metal, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is a metal encasing.
There's a lot of the body horror bits that are really uncomfortable. Yes. I would say this is like not like scary, but it's more like uncomfortable, disturbing,
it's
disgusting.
Disturbing and gross, but also this weird. It's weird and heartfelt, so you get this fun mix.
Yes, yeah. This movie is doing a lot.
It is doing a lot, and I do think the first time I watched it, it was a little over my head. Like I know what it wanted me to feel, which I guess is understanding it, but I never found it to be as effective for me as I thought Raw was, because I felt like I really had a full grasp on what Raw was trying to do and what Raw was trying to make me feel, where this one was a little more out there. But people love this.
I think it's interesting because Raw, I would say the plot is a lot simpler.
Yes.
And so I think it's easier to get something out of. And this just has so much going on that I'm able to pick up on like one or two pieces, but I think it's saying endless things. And because it's doing so much, I can understand it going over someone's head. Like, what do you actually want me to get from this? Because you have like 4 plot points kind of shoved into one movie that it's working, but and
all of them kind of have different little themes, which is fine. I'm fine to have multi-layered themes. It's just like sometimes I'm trying to understand what the direction is. And I think we do understand. This is not a complaint about the movie. It's more just like how I struggled a little more with it compared to Raw.
Yeah. It's interesting. It has the serial killer arc. It has the car pregnancy. It has
The found family, and that man having like weird health or addiction to steroids and whatnot. Like it's just doing so much. And then I kind of sit there and I'm like, what's the point of the car pregnancy? Like, we could have had the full story of just serial killer who hides,
hiding
that is a
and
good
found
question.
family, and like what that's saying about like gender identity, like all of that
is
a full story anyway. So part of me is like, why do we have car pregnancy?
Because it's cool.
But also like that is such an enticing part of the storyline that it's like the most fun aspect of the movie. So it's like, would the movie be without that? I don't know if it works.
When we get to themes, I'm going to think about this one a little bit, and we'll try to talk something through. But I think I have some thoughts.
I have some thoughts. It's just interesting. The car pregnancy, though, does really allow for, I think, the best moments of body horror. So
yes, agreed.
The pregnancy was giving like Renesmee, but car. Like, instead of a vampire impregnating you and having a sped up pregnancy, it was sped up car pregnancy.
No, for real,
superhuman baby, but instead of vampire,
her binding her own pregnant belly was
horrifying.
Also horrifying.
It was really hard to watch. Binding in general is really tough.
Like, there is a level of like trans allegory in here as well.
100%, yeah.
But it's kind of an interesting one where it's, I think, a trans allegory that is more relatable to. Not more related. Anybody can relate to it, but I think a lot of people try to or struggle to be empathetic towards like trans folks because they're like, well, I don't understand that feeling. But then in this one, it's like, no, well, this is a woman who's not trans pretending to be a man, and that is very difficult. And there's a lot of gender dysphoria that comes with that can happen to anyone, right? There's always a feeling of everyone can relate to a feeling of pretending to be someone you're not and having to do that to be accepted. And I think that's like very interesting and in a good way to like help us relate to that better. Because I do think people do a bad job. Yeah, I mean, in general, I think people do a bad job trying to relate to that.
But I would also bite back at you a little bit.
Okay, all right.
In that I don't think we get to say whether this person was trans or not.
Oh, like, I'm saying, yeah.
The language you used is like that she's not traditionally trans. She's dressing as like more like cross-dressing for a purpose is kind of the language that it felt like you used.
That wasn't what I meant, but understood.
Versus like,
we
don't know how they identify.
To be honest, I was more referring to...
I knew what you were trying to say.
Well, I have a good example. What's the Amanda Bynes movie where...
She's the man.
She's the man. There's a story, I guess, about her actually having gender dysphoria, seeing that movie and like living as that character. And I was like, oh shit, that is something like anyone can relate to.
Yeah.
And so it's like interesting that people will, make comments about trans people or be unaccepting of them and then not realize that they would. It's very possible for them to also experience those feelings. Yes. And that was kind of my point with this. But you're right.
I knew what you meant. Yeah. I think we'll touch more on that later when we talk about themes for sure. But what I will say, in addition to the like transformation, physical transformation from Alexia to Adrian also provides a whole lot of body horror, disturbing content with the body manipulation to present as Adrian. And holy hell.
It's gross.
It's tough. The nose breaking scene is really the part that like really does it for me. That like bothers me.
Also, just the idea of being like, I could look like that kid that went missing.
Yeah.
And then dad just accepts it, even though he clearly knows the whole time it's not. But he just like wants this relationship.
I think it's interesting. It kind of leaves it ambiguous when he realizes. Like, has he known the whole time, or does he figure it out? I think it's kind of.
I think he knows pretty much immediately, and is just still so. Hasn't had closure, is struggling to cope, and wants to have this relationship. He wants it to be him. A
relationship with a child is like he wants the unconditional love that comes with a child
that he like lost too, and that's like it's very heartbreaking. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I feel like almost immediately because like, oh, we can do the DNA test. He's like, why? That's my son. Like almost immediately, like he's like, I'm not going to do a DNA test. It's
interesting because there are like real cases of this.
Yikes.
Where they also didn't do DNA tests and then later came to light that it wasn't their child. Okay. There's actually a couple cases of that.
All right.
At least that I have seen. I know there was like an older case and that there was no DNA testing at the time that it happened. So that's why testing was not done, because I think both the parties involved would want to test, but and that's the case of Bobby Dunbar, I think it is. But yeah, there's been in the age of DNA testing cases where like a child went missing and then like 7 years later a person popped up and was like, yeah, that me. And then the family was like, yeah, that my son.
Okay, so this could happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do wonder if that was something that she like read about and that's where it came from, or if it was just like, I got this great idea. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm just curious.
To be honest, I could not predict where any of this came from other than her one dream.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yep. It's very funny. I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to dive into, because I feel like a lot of my thoughts are very
touching on themes.
Theme-based.
Well, let's just talk about a couple things we liked then, like things we think the movie does effectively.
All the body horror, like I mentioned.
Yes, I'd say all the body horror is good. The narrative is very out there, but we enjoy. Mm-hmm. Performances from both of them are really solid. Are really quite good.
Well, and it's really fun because Alexia Adrian is primarily a non-speaking role, and
she gets a lot across
in her facial expressions. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is it's a really great performance all through just nonverbals and body language. Mm-hmm.
And then Dad does a lot. He's just really good in general. Really, everything about him, good. He's got just his look in general is so perfect for this role of this aging fireman trying to like stick around in it and clearly being broken inside. Mm-hmm. Yeah, gotta love it.
Yeah, his performance is great. Like I have this image in my head of him crying at one point and just like how moving his performance is.
And also him just being like, this is my son and you're all going to deal with it. And like, you know what I mean? The whole just make him, he's at working with them and just lives with it. Mm-hmm. He's like, yep, this is it. Everyone deal with it. And like, be nice to my son or else I'm the boss.
I do think it's very interesting too, that it's like this hyper masculine job traditionally. So to have Dad who's aging and having difficulty accepting his aging body and how that could be tied in with his view of his own masculinity.
Well, that's why he's doing steroids.
Yeah. And then this added element of like that becoming Adrian's role as well, like working at the firehouse and in this, again, hyper masculine field.
No, all good points. Other things I want to say I liked, just because we got a hit on them, is I do think the movie looks very good, as I do think about Raw. I think Julia's clearly a good director. There's
a lot of scenes where like the colors and the shots really are good. Really great looking.
That's a French thing too, I swear, because they're so style heavy. It's like they're as I've said before, a lot of like the French film industry is just so style driven that you do see a lot of work with like lighting and color and getting that kind of stuff to pop.
I was reading
the scene when she stabs that dude in the ear It's crazy.
I was reading a bunch of interviews, and she like referred to certain scenes as like the pink scene, and then was like, and by that I mean the fire truck dance scene.
Yeah.
But like was referring to them by their
colors.
colors because the colors were so important in like
That's
the
really funny.
filmmaking. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
I love that for her.
I bet the colors also have a lot to do with the themes of everything.
I was going to
like
say
the pink being the dancing scene being the more feminine dance with the pink in the background. Like if we're gonna gender colors, you know,
and the how that's the different gender identities and parts of herself all coming to or themselves. However, we want to label them coming together.
Yes,
in that moment.
For the purpose of talking about this, I'm just going to keep calling her she because there is no.
Yes. And I think that's fair.
Well, she's also
introduced to this character as Alexia. So
you're pointed out though the whole her be in the hypermasculine field when she's coming from the hyperfeminine field as a car dancer,
exotic
dancer, car dancer, which is, and then kind of the whole transition from that.
I also think that shit is so fucking funny that she's clearly had this fixation or attraction to cars since she was younger. So for her to then grow up and have a job exotic dancing with cars is fucking hilarious.
Yes,
it also makes me wonder how long she's been having sex with cars.
That's a great question. Or is this the first one?
Yeah.
Maybe this is the only one that can get her pregnant. I don't know.
Who's to say? Who's to say what's going on with this car? There's also a lot of like Jesus-y imagery.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
Religious imagery. There's like certain... I saw that in an interview too, because I did not pick up on that. So that's partially why I'm bringing it up, trying to get your thoughts on it. So clearly you didn't see it either.
No, I didn't know.
There's like points to the way that her young self after the surgery is standing that's very much like the stigmata and like the poses that she's in.
Interesting.
Are deliberate.
Why? Or just because it looks hard? Or what?
In interviews, and again, I got these interviews like a month ago when we watched the movie, so I could be forgetting a little bit here. But she did make Julia made a lot of like references to the intention to have this religious element.
Okay.
And I simply don't recall the specifics, but I know that was like one of the examples with the imagery that she was going
Google
for.
It yourself then.
But I don't know, like, just thinking about it without the context of the interview and her telling me what it's supposed to be and what it's supposed to mean to her, I don't see it or get it in the context of the film.
But I don't want to be dumb.
I don't want to be dumb. Right. My only thing would be like the baby being a product of something that normally cannot impregnate.
Oh, sure.
You.
It's like immaculate conception.
Yeah.
Yep, I see it.
That's the only thing I can get from it. So if anyone has any thoughts on that, I would love to hear further. And we can always, if you provide some thoughts, we'll share it on a future episode.
So we said some things we liked. We should do our quick didn't like and then just jump into themes. Because
I agree.
We got at least 10 minutes to talk about themes and then we'll wrap it up. But
we need
some time.
A bit of time for sure.
So dislikes, I think for me, I still feel at its emotional core, it doesn't hit as hard as Raw does. And that's always going to be my comparison. I also find
that was her first film and the first that we saw.
Yes,
so that makes sense.
I also find it to be just a little less like kinetic and I think like fat pace the way that Raw is. I find the pacing to be a little slow at times and I start to like lose a little bit of interest. While I do still really like this movie, it's like one that doesn't keep me enthralled as long as I think I would like it to.
I don't find that in terms of pacing to be an issue for me, but I would say I think because the movie's doing so much and like there is a lot packed into this film that I do struggle a bit with the emotional connection to the characters.
I think scatterbrained is the best way to describe it. And that doesn't mean that's a bad thing. It's just like it's harder for me to it's harder to keep my attention, I would say, or keep me like invested. And I still like this. That's my complaint. And that's kind of how I felt the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
It was like more just, this is okay. It's good.
Yeah, I agree. I think I like Raw better as well, and it's because there is just so much happening here.
Yes.
That
doesn't all feel... I think it's like a complete thought. It's just like... I'm
interested in how the thoughts are put together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's my only complaint.
That would be the only complaint that I have as well, because like each individual aspect of this movie is all great filmmaking, in my opinion.
So let's talk about themes.
Themes,
so I keep yawning.
Yeah, I think there are so many themes here. Let's start with the very obvious.
You have them all written, so yeah, maybe you just write. Just tell me what they are, and then I'll talk about them.
Let's start with the very obvious of unconditional love and found family.
Yeah, I do think this is like the core theme of the movie. You call it obvious. I think this is the one that really moves our story forward and ends up being like the emotional core of the film. That really gets you, and it is about how this dad is broken and just accepts whatever this person is as their child. Which I think also can kind of play into the trans allegory a little bit. Like Adrian can be whoever Adrian wants to be.
Yes.
Including a person that's not Adrian and is also a serial killer and is pregnant with a car. And like, so that's a very accepting father. It's a little twisted because this person's pretending to be their kid. But either way, like dad, who is a hypermasculine role or a hypermasculine person, is still accepting of their whoever, you know?
Yeah. I think it's very much about like the love that he has for his quote unquote son or this person. And like the scene where they're dancing together at the party feels like a very clear, blatant example of that.
Yes.
And then also, obviously, the baby delivery scene.
Yeah. Wow. Well, and I'm also thinking about like Alexia also seems pretty, what's the word? She seems like a sociopath.
Yes.
This killer early.
But...
And like then kind of finds this person that gives her this like love that she feels like she hasn't received.
Yeah.
Maybe she seems like a shithead before she gets into the car crash and gets sexually attracted to cars. But like there's something that like changes in her because of this
love that she's receiving from him.
That's unconditional towards her that maybe she just feels like she hasn't had before.
Yeah, and when we meet her, she really does seem detached from all of her relationships, including her parents. Like very easily chooses to lock her parents in a room and light the house on fire.
Yeah,
no thoughts, like
head empty,
literally just like okay, fine. So I do think it's really beautiful that she is able to find this person who loves and accepts her, and that she doesn't need, like, clearly she has used sexuality in the past to feel cared for, to manipulate
and
people.
She tries to with him, which is also really uncomfortable, and he like shuts it down.
Yeah. And so, and I do think that that's like this beautiful moment that like this way that I have gotten attention in the past isn't what I need to be doing, because just being whoever I am in this moment and this space is enough.
And that's why, and that's where this movie really shines.
Yes.
That's why this theme is so important. And that's like why it's good. That's why even with me saying, hey, I have some problems with the pace or whatever I'm calling it, like this still hits so hard at the end. And it's even harder that she dies and get in childbirth, and then he's just left with a part car baby that he's also going to unconditionally love. What a great father in media. I didn't even think about that. But like, he's actually like a great. He's a mess, but like
he's a really great father.
He's a great father.
Yeah,
funny.
And because I feel like a lot of dads really are just this like masculine, stoic asshole that like isn't attentive.
Well, and that's what's fun though. They play on the ideas of he is this like classic masculine, overly almost toxic, but he can be both. Yeah. It's like he can have this toxic front, but yet, and I kind of like it. It's kind of almost a counter to people being like toxic masculinity is bad. Obviously, like toxic is bad, but it ends up bleeding over into like masculinity or like even like gender norms are bad. Where I would say that this is an example of you can be like a man's man and also be accepting of your like child and love your child unconditionally.
Yes, like you can be a
like
man's man,
like Ron Swanson,
and also be sensitive, and emotional, and in touch with your feelings.
Is that a good example though, Ron Swanson?
Ron's a really funny example.
Like almost, I mean, he's like libertarian type character, but clearly like cares for people anyway. Or I was even thinking like Joel from The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I love those edits where it has him in the shirt that says, "I love my gay daughter," and Ellie's like head on her hand, like trying to hide from him. Yeah, very funny. But yeah, I think that's just like examples, and maybe we're not. I think maybe people go too far a lot of the times and be like, being masculine is bad because they equate it with the toxic side of it, and this is like a counter to that.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
It's cool to be masculine again. Let's go.
But only if your version of masculinity is closer to what this guy's doing.
Yes, of course.
I mean, I will say it to anyone, like, being in touch with your feelings is cool, obviously.
Yes. Well, he clearly is in this. Well, I mean, he's, well, sort of. He's...
him becoming more in touch with his feelings is what makes him, like, very appealing.
When I say he's not in touch with his feelings, it's because he's just refusing to accept that this isn't actually his kid, but like, that's okay. He just doesn't care. All right. You got another theme for me?
Yeah, acceptance of gender identity or queer identity.
Yeah, and we went through this a little bit, so give me your rundown, because I think we're going to be in agreement on this one.
Yeah, so obviously Alexia is posing as Adrian, but all along has had interests or behaviors that are traditionally both masculine and feminine.
What, the masculine being a serial killer?
Aggression, violence, life of car.
Okay.
And then obviously feminine, like dancer, erotic sexuality. Yeah, and then I think obviously as the movie goes on, Alexia's having this transformation into probably more so who they are in the form of Adrian. And I think there's this beautiful point, like we mentioned, is he is just able to see, Dad is just able to see Alexa, Adrian, as who they are without putting a social construct on them or expectations on them. Yes. It's like this beautiful acceptance of whomever this person is choosing to be.
Defends her to his ex-wife, defends her to the coworkers, and is just like, yeah, that's mine.
And I do think that fire truck moment is really kind of the pieces of that identity all coming together in the same moment.
Okay. Even though it's really hard to watch. But yeah, it's like the dancing while in front of the crew, not giving a shit, being the masculine presenting version of themselves. Like, okay, I see it.
Yeah, and this, like, whether trans, non-binary, whatever you want to call it, because it isn't labeled, because I don't think the sexuality in this movie or gender identity in this movie needs to be labeled, but, you know.
Yeah, it's about, I think it's also so it could be relatable to anybody.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I mean, I'm in agreement. I think that one's like mostly pretty clear cut throughout, so I don't have anything to add. You have another one?
I think there's also just this really interesting link of like violence and just humanity in general. Like the violence isn't gendered, and again, that's something we do a lot of times associate with men. And the most violent character we have in this is Alexia.
And also the character that we're supposed to like root for that's like kills a house full of people.
Yeah. But it's like a lot of times women in film, like, and life is the victim, but she can also express violence.
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Which is very interesting.
Got another one? Or is that it?
Well, obviously, as we mentioned, there's the Christianity piece
that
is hard to process for me personally.
Well, you know, I'll jump back. I realize there's also this acceptance of like who she is as someone who wants to fuck cars.
Yeah.
Like that is kind of the sexuality portion where it's like, yeah, well, I'm just going to have my car baby, and dad finds the car baby and there's oil as they birth the baby, and dad is going to take in and accept that car baby, as I said before. And that's like, you're right, all of it comes together, and that dance scene, because it's the gender identity, the sexual identity of wanting to fuck cars, and I mean, that's it, those two. So, very interesting. And because they're dancing on the fire truck. The fire truck they also had sex with at one point.
Oh my god, yeah,
Which is
I
crazy.
forgot about that.
Yeah, they banged the fire
Fuck.
truck. Those scenes are also insane.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do think there's a lot here of like shedding what society expects from you.
Which always is going to have like a trans allegory. That's why why the Matrix is such a big trans allegory. It's the idea of, Mr. Anderson, there are two lives. One of them has a future, and one of them does not. And I love that shit. That movie's so good. Can we cover the Matrix?
I'm not sure, bro.
Tough. Okay. So, do we want to rate it, or do we have other stuff we got to talk about?
I do think, so I did pull up part of an interview about the religious piece. Julia Ducournau says she's both Mary and Jesus. She embodies both of them.
Okay.
She's been both of them. That's why I asked the young girl who plays Alexa to hold her hands like she's bearing the stigmata, and there's a white light on her that gives the impression of a halo. After that, you have the idea of immaculate conception, like we mentioned, even though we know that it comes from the car, but the way her belly bursts out of her jeans with no warning or whatever was my way to give idea of an immaculate conception. And when she's with Vincent, he says, he's my son, but it's like, I'm God and he's my son.
Yeah.
So in that way, Alexia
he does say
Jesus.
that. Okay. I see it. Adopted Jesus. Well, God kind of did adopt Jesus, right? Well, no, Joseph adopted Jesus.
Yeah. But I made her go from Jesus to Mary again. And at the end, for me, she's both.
Okay. I like it.
And I do think the end, too, is supposed to be, there's a lot of pieces in this, and like she mentioned in her dream, that combination of like life and dead cold metal. Like there's a lot of this like combination of things that are life bringing and not in like combination with each other, with like the baby being.
Yes, both. That's the combination. I like it. Okay. Anything else, or can we rate?
I wanted to do a quick round of either a ranking or this or that. You pick.
This or that.
Okay. We're going to do
I think that makes more sense than ranking.
That's fine.
Okay.
The ranking was going to be French horror films.
Okay, nice.
This or that was going to be a this or that of body horror films.
Got it.
Okay, so this or that. Titane or The Ugly Stepsister?
Titane.
Titane or Crimes of the Future?
Oh, Crimes of the Future. That's really hard. Sorry. I've only seen Crimes of the Future once, and I thought it was so cool. So
you're saying that?
Crimes of the Future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Titane or The Substance?
Crimes of the Future is considered French? Or body horror?
Body horror.
You said French earlier.
No, I said it was a ranking of French films or this or that with body horror.
I gotcha. Okay, Crimes of the Future.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I said Titane or The Substance.
The Substance. Sorry, Titane, but The Substance is like really good.
Titane or Possessor?
Possessor.
So in conclusion, Matt really does not love Titane.
The issue is I like Titane. These are all other really good picks.
I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then the last one's Raw.
Yeah, which we've already established many times.
This is tough. I mean, The Substance, Crimes of the Future, Possessor, and Raw are all really good movies.
Yeah.
And Titane is also a good movie. I don't know if I would call it really good, in my opinion. I think for a lot of people, it's really good, though.
Yeah.
People love this movie.
Love this movie.
I like it. I don't love it. But that's just me.
I'm really, really interested and excited to see how we feel about Alpha upon its
that's
release.
That's going to be great. I'm excited.
I heard mixed things about its Cannes debut, so we'll see. Maybe it's for us, maybe it's not.
Okay.
But I feel pretty motivated to see that in theaters if it has any theatrical release near us.
All right, let's rate this thing. I have both of mine ready to go already.
All right, go for it.
So I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I like this movie, but it's just, that's where it's falling. And it's actually going to match with my plus. I'm going to say a +2.
A +2.
I would highly recommend more. Those other 4 movies more than this.
Interesting.
I like it. It's not like I would just recommend Raw as like a +5 almost.
Wow. So, okay, that's big.
I don't know if I would give Raw a 10 out of 10, but Raw is like, you should watch this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That seems to be the consensus review on Letterboxd for Titane is around a 3.5. So
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people that we follow and are friends with, I'll give this movie 4 or 5 stars though.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I like this movie. It's just like, I'm going to always compare it to things similar to it. And I just think those other things have worked better for me. But that's just me,
no, that's fair. I think I want to give it like a 7.8 or like an 8.
Oh, okay. All right. It's good.
It's a good movie.
It's a good review.
Yeah.
It's a good review. And the plus minus?
I do think that this is a movie people should watch. So I'm going to go +3 and +4.
+4. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anything else we need to say, or we can wrap it up here? There's a kitty in the litter box behind us being annoying that just met our dog and was stalking our dog during this whole episode. And that was fun. This little Aster running around.
We've paused this episode like 7 times.
We're waiting for him and Norton to fight. He hissed at Norton and then walked up and is trying to jump on him, and then he just keeps going in and out of his litter box.
Yeah, I think it
smells really bad in here.
Yeah, we are not having fun.
Get me out of here. Aster, stop playing in the litter box.
So Matt is literally like...
What are you doing?
No,
he's going again.
He's peeing now.
He's peeing.
Or
okay.
Maybe. Who's to say? Maybe he's the little boy. He really just got a lot of poop.
He looks like a drunk guy at a bar that stares at the wall when they go to the bathroom. Yeah, I love that for him. He's focused right now.
I know, he's so fucking funny.
Let's wrap this up. We got to go take care of cat shit. All right. Oh, would you just get stuck to... Stop. He keeps throwing poop out of the litter box. He needs a bigger box already.
Oh, my feral bean boy.
Yeah, he was very feral. All right.
Oh, angel boy. He's trying his best.
He just like threw poop out. All right. Well, okay. We're out of here. I've been Matt Hanna.
I'm Hanna.
That's Aster. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Horror Hour with the Hannas. Make sure to listen to future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever else you can find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube, where we post episodes and shorts. You can follow us at Horror Hour with the Hannas on TikTok and Instagram, as well as at Horror Hour on Blue Sky for more content. If you like the podcast, please follow and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. Happy hauntings!